Good morning, all. Sir, on behalf of Lisi College of Allied Health Sciences, I heartily welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Then, my dear colleagues, students of Lisi College of Allied Health Sciences, principal, teachers, students, professionals from various colleges and industries all over the India. On behalf of Lisi College of Allied Health Sciences, I heartily welcome you all. Now, I request Mrs. Mila V.S., Assistant Professor, Lisi College of Allied Health Sciences, Kochi, to introduce Dr. Pradeep Kumar, sir. Madam, please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all. Myself, Mila, Assistant Professor, Lisi College of Allied Health Sciences. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today. And this is very proud to introduce you, sir, Miss Dr. M. Pradeep Kumar. And it's my privilege that he was and a good mentor. And although having spent almost his entire career in the field of medical laboratory technology, he completed his graduation in BSc Medical Laboratory Technology from Toronto Medical College in 1993 and Masters in Medical Laboratory Technology Biochemistry from PGI Chandigarh in 1996 and PhD in Biotechnology and Molecular Biology from University of Kerala in 2013. He is presently working as Assistant Professor, Department of MLT, Government Medical College, Trivandrum. He is co-author of two textbooks in Medical Laboratory Technology and Research Guide in 2 universities. He has more than 10 publications of research articles in peer-indexed journals, and he has guided PhD students and more than 14 postgraduate students. Area of research include clinical chemistry, biotechnology, and molecular biology. He has delivered more than 30 lectures in state and national conferences and awarded Best Faculty in the discipline of paramedical education in 2017. He is examiner for BSc MLT, MSc MLT, MSc Biotechnology, and PhD for various universities in India. 25 years of experience in teaching BSc MLT degree courses, 11 year of teaching experience of postgraduate course MSc MLT Biochemistry, and 4 years as guest lecturer for MSc Biotechnology program under University of Kerala. And he is a member of Textbook Preparation Committee of Vocational Higher Secondary Education Department and presented academic seminars in almost CME programs in medical education and health services in the subject of medical laboratory and biochemistry. He is a good quiz master in SILUS program and other university programs and other academic activities. He is presently one of the member of Academic Council and Board of Studies in MLT, who has previous Academic Council member, Faculty of Medicine and Board of Studies in University of Kerala, previous Board of Studies member in MG University, Calcutta University, and Kanu University. And we are grateful for his presence among us today for presenting COVID-19 laboratory testing, how it works. And I am deeply honored to welcome you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mila.
Yeah. So now I request Dr. Pradeep Kumar. Sir, you can start your academic session with the most relevant topic, that is COVID-19 laboratory testing, how this works. Now the floor is yours, sir. You can start your class. And before that, I request all participants to mute your speakers, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabir and Mila. I have to express my sincere thanks to the LSE Medical Education to inviting me as a speaker in the fifth series of webinar. I already enjoyed your 2 or 3 webinar sections, but still it's an important topic and it ought to be conveyed to the laboratory technique, as we all are technicians and technologists. Presently, only during the COVID-19 sections, they emphasize the role of laboratory and why it is important, what are the demands of the laboratory test, everything which you have to be conveyed within a short period of time also. As being a laboratory profession, I am quite privileged to be expressing my presentations to the community of the medical laboratory technology professions. Thank you once again to the organizing committee to inviting me. Actually, my topic is of not simple also there when we have moved on to the lockdown before of the 75 days. So before that, we are at least aware about this type of test and this type, the name of coronavirus and COVID-19, etc. also there. And after the breakdown of 75 days in India, we are still with the academic activities that we want to share our role. And this is a tremendous time to expressing the role of laboratory and the technicians for the important part of the to fight against COVID-19. Okay, as we all know, the outbreak of pandemic COVID-19 has put around 1 billion people in quarantine and brought the economic of many countries to halt. So that already we every time we are reading the newspaper with the huge number of infected patients also there. However, the real impact is yet to come. Today also, every day we are going to the newspapers and other thing, the cases will be on more and more, and the death, the case, especially the case fatality rate also increasing more by more on from globally and even to the India also there, and that is why. So a brief introduction regarding the COVID-19 disease. As we all are aware about, it is caused by SARS-CoV-2, and the worldwide, yet now today's report, it is 96.25 lakhs of patients were infected and 4.8 lakhs patients were died due to the COVID-19 diseases. In India, 4.9 lakhs were infected and 15,308 patients were died. So the tremendous, the fatality rate will be increasing. In India, it is 2.8. The ratio will be there. And Kerala, 3,726 were infected and only 23 deaths were reported by the team effort of the whole, even the government organizations as well as the non-government organization people were worked together to fight against the diseases also. Till now, there is no specific treatment or vaccinations are available for the COVID-19 treatment. So that is the introduction point I have to stress also there. And now come to the point of where the new coronaviruses came. And already, you know, it started from the Wuhan city during the month of November 19 also there. And then it's reported the milestones we can see also there what will happen from the China, Wuhan, and it reaches around 197 countries as yet now there also there. The new virus is closely related to bat coronavirus also there. And though the bat viruses got changed to infect humans, it is the mechanism is not completely understood. But pangolins were also shared. They are talking about these pangolins are also with the zoonotic agent to for the evolution of the coronavirus also there. And so what will happen here? The genome of the bat virus, the coronavirus, is mutated in S, and that S triggers to the pandemicity and to spreading effect, and that can be lead to the highly potential virus of the coronavirus, the mutation of the S gene also there. And it is not closely related to the SARS, severe acute respiratory epidemics occur in 2002, and also the Middle East respiratory symptoms occur in the 2012 that affected around 300 cases only there with the amount CFR of around 35% only. Now the time milestones which we can discuss already I mentioned, it start from the Wuhan cities. And December 8, 2009 reported the first non-case of pneumonia of unknown etiology in Wuhan by Dr. Li Jing. And then it's a lot of people are suffered. And December 31st, 2019, the last day of the last year, China reported a cluster of cases of pneumonia with unknown etiology in Wuhan to WHO. They informed it to WHO. That is why the disease already spread in 1.5 months. Previous also there, the disease named as COVID-19. In January 7, 2012, the novel corona-19 virus was identified, which is the causative agent for the pneumonia-like diseases also there. In January 10, the viral genome sequence was released. Because that is one advanced phenomena occurring here also rather than the SARS. The SARS is to take too much time to developing a laboratory kit also there, but here it's earlier time it takes also there. In January 12, the further genome sequences were deposited in the viral sequences, and all the viral sequences were completed, and that triggers for the development of the DNA-based technologies in the date of January 13th. That was the day remarkable to the technology. The technology started for the development of a kit, a test, within 1.5 months by the origin of diseases. But it takes around 5 months in case of the SARS-CoV also there, in previous years also there. In January 31st, that is a day who declare a public health emergency of the international concern also there. That was the day where the first case of corona was reported in India in Thrissur. And then the milestones to this also there. In January 1st was the unknown death. The first known death was occurring the January 11. And in January 30, the first case of death in first case in India already we mentioned. And February 11, who named the disease as COVID-19. That day onwards, before that it is a pneumonia-like diseases are referred, and it is called COVID-19. And February 11, the virus is renamed as SARS coronavirus 2. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus 2 is named. So the previous SARS is referred as SARS-CoV, now it is SARS-CoV-2 also there. And in March 11, the WHO declared COVID as a global pandemic. Now it is a pandemic diseases. It is referred as. In March 12, the first death in India occurring, and March 28 is the first death in Kerala, and March 24th onwards, India became the lockdown for a period of 75 days to prevent the spread of COVID-19 diseases. Now come to the viral genomes. That was very interesting to the contributions of a diagnostic test which were emerging also there. As we know, the viral DNA, as we know, the RNA genome is surrounded by a helical symmetry nucleocapsid, which causes the current outbreak of the COVID-19 to SARS also there. The viral genome is around 30,000 genetic vector and it is initially completed by the Zhang et al. Of China on January 5 also. And tremendously, the genome sequence containing 5 open reading frames were identified, ORF also. The open reading frames were identified. The first one is called ORF1 AB and spike protein, envelope protein, membrane protein, and nucleocapsid proteins. So when you see the structure, you can see, and inside we having the RNA material will be there, and surrounded with we having a symmetric capsid, which having all the proteins will be there, N protein, S protein, all the envelope protein, etc. will be there. And this the structural difference from the other SARS to this SARS-CoV is the presence of the S protein is there. Now on the pathophysiology, how the disease occurring, to know the basic aspects, how the virus express itself and how the virus, hello? How the virus inject yours also there. As we already mentioned, the S protein on the surface of the SARS-CoV virus, you can see the diagrams which attach to the ACE2 receptor on the alveolar cells or the lung cells, where the intensity of the angiotensin converting enzyme is very high in the alveolar cells also there. And there is a fusion of the ACE2 with the receptor internalizing the virus into the alveolar cells, and there the proteases enzymes will uncoating the symmetry, the capsid symmetry, and the DNA genome, the positive RNA genome is outcomed, and it is translated by the machineries of by the cell's machineries also there. And inside the cell, the virus has own genetic code to take control of the program that cell make there become the virus making factories are there. First one, the proteins are replicated by the 2 genes where what we mentioned about the translocation ORF1 genes, that are the 2 large genes which are transcribed. Then subsequently the spike protein, envelope protein, membrane protein, and nucleocapsid proteins are transcribed. The proteins will be synthesized and processed in the rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and finally the assembling of the vesicles will be occurring. And that the more and more viruses which can try to the infection proceeds more and more, the machinery system cell produces more copies of the coronaviruses, and which reaches the outside edges of the cell
and nearby its cells, and the end these droplets, that is the spreading stages, the infective stages, droplets that escape to the lungs. Millions or billions of viral are releasing. These viral particles are entering in through the mouth, through the nostril systems for the spreading stage. This is the pathophysiology normally takes place, is how the virus is entering into the lung cells or alveolar cells, and the infection proceeds also there. And how this will be lead to a severe acute respiratory distress syndromes, as we know that the immune system alveolar it entering the systems with the help of the AC to express more lung cells also there. As the immune system fight to clear the virus, that is a normal one, that creating the initial fever that will be detected by the IR thermometer or with a screening method also there. And the different mechanisms releasing interferons. The SARS-CoV multiplies rapidly and releasing the interferons are there. And the interferons are produced from infected cells, which attract several immune complexes into the site, like monocytes, neutrophils, macrophages, etc., into the immune site. That creating the developments of the interferons and the interleukins are especially IL-26 and IL-26. The vicinity of the infected cells will be there. So you can see the air sacs of the lungs are filled with mucus. And that will reduce the oxygenation capacity, reduce the lung capacity to releasing carbon dioxide and entering of oxygen into the lung cells. So that lead to the SARS. So very simple. The bursa will be a development. The bursa of interferon and cytokines will be there. And subsequent slides you can see that this is called a cytokine storm in the lung cells. So there, the infections occur due to the entry of replication, and while the defense mechanism, the antigen presentation cells will be there, that will releasing more and more cytokines, interferons will be there. That is the normal mechanism in our immunity systems. So the burst of interferon and the interleukins will damage the lung alveolar, which progress to the SARS also there. And now what are the complications occurring while this mechanism will be occurring? Now SARS, rather than the SARS, it's having a lot of complications will be occurring, and due to the phenomena of the engulfing of the cells. So there, normally the ACE2 receptor having a normal mechanism in the cells also there, but in the presence of a protein called TMB-RSS2, this AC2 mechanism will be enhanced more and more, that facilitated to bind to the coronavirus, the spike protein of the coronavirus also there. And this will be internalizing, the direct viral invasions will be takes places inside. You can see the slide also, inside the cells, the tubular epithelium and podocyte damages, and rhabdomyolysis, damage of the muscle cells, and subsequently lead to the cytokine storm and complement activations. Everything will be, these are the stages, subsequent stages regarding the pathophysiology of the diseases. And then it will lead to the hypercoagulability and microangiopathies also there. And similarly, the tubular necrosis will be occurring, that lead to the acute kidney injuries also there. So it will affect the acute cardiac problems will be occur, the lung injury already we mentioned, hypoxia, hypertension, all will be recurring, and that progress to the death of the patient also there. So all these are this is a causative agent. And while with the mortality rate we have mentioned also there, usually in the more than 80% or associated with the cardiac problems or other accessory diseases, the death rate will be very high in SARS-CoV cases only there. Now let's see the stages of infections. Now pathogenicity and what are the consequences of the SARS-CoV virus we already mentioned. There are 3 stages in the infections. Stage 1, it is mild, that is early infections also there. The local symptoms like of throat irritation, dry cough, fever, and many symptoms are, many of them are asymptomatic patients, and 80% recover in few weeks also there. And progressing the lymphopenia and neutropenia, that is of the normal defense immune mechanisms will be there. And stage 2, moderate disease, pulmonary phases will be started. And viral multiplications inside the lung alveolar cells will infect the cells, and epithelial injury and acute respiratory distress syndromes, ARDS, occur, and due to the hypoxia And in the blood, we can see lymphopenia and procalcitonin is normal. So, but the patient again need hospitalization in the second stage because it's infecting the lung tissues and the distress will be occurring. And stage 3 is the severe inflammatory responses will be there. Already we have shown the slide also otherwise how this process will be occurring. And then the extrapulmonary systemic hyperinflammation, so other than the lung tissues, and decrease the T cells and cytokine storm. Already IL-6, IL-2, IL-F and alpha TNFs will be there. And the C-reactive protein, D-dimer, ferritin, troponins, all can be varying and progress to MODS, called as a multiple organ dysfunction syndrome, or usually we call it as lead to the myocarditis that can lead to the death of the patient. This slide shows what are the viral responses and the host inflammatory response phases also. There already we have the phases in 3 stages. Stage 1, early infections also there, the mild constitutional symptoms, most of them are asymptomatic, but we can see that is the advantage of the IR thermometer. The fever should be more than 99.6 degree in the earlier phases. That is due to the defense mechanism in the cells to fight against the viral entry also there. So dry cough can be possible there also. But while doing the blood examination, we can see lymphopenia is the clinical signs. That also help for the laboratory side for the earlier infection identification also there. And stage 2, the pulmonary phase, we have 2A and 2B phases will be there. And that mainly due to the end of the viral response phases and the starting of the host inflammatory responses will be there. And shortness of the breath without hypoxia is also there. So there are 2A, breath without shortness of breath, and then hypoxia. 2 stages we called. So imaging and X-ray can help this time for identification or transaminitis, and low or normal procalcitonin can be identified in such a level for the second. Now in the hyperinflammatory phase, that lead to the ARDS also there, shocking syndrome, cardiac failure. Some patients, when it is regards to this, so ventilation is necessary on the point of this hyperinflammatory phases will be there. So elevated inflammatory markers are identifying the treatment. No specific treatment will be there, but supporting treatment can give depends upon the inflammatory markers, either CRP is increasing, LDH is increasing, IL-6 or D-dimer, ferritin, troponins are all indicating the inflammatory markers other than that of the diagnostic aspect also there. So this is the stages of infections. Now we are move on to the point also the why the test is crucial for combating the COVID-19, to fight against the COVID-19 also there. And already we mentioned the 3 T's are very important: testing, tracking, and treating is very important. The primary importance of the to combating COVID-19 is the laboratory test. Testing is essential to see who, why, where, and how many are infected by coronavirus. That is very important. Rather than any other diagnostic criteria, these points consider more important because of the pandemicities of the COVID-19. Test, test, and test. Test every suspected case. The most effective way to prevent infection and save lives is breaking the chains of transmission. And to do that, must test and isolate. This is a word by the WHO Director General, Director General by the Tedros Adhanom. He has declared the word that emphasize the importance of the laboratory test, which is very important, crucial role for taking the vigil of this COVID-19 also. And today in newspaper also they mentioned the laboratory test might be increased to 15,000, even to lakhs, etc. Yet now around 17 laboratory tests were performed in Kerala for the screening purpose of the patients also there. And what will happen in the case, the lack of testing, 2 people infected, they have not been diagnosed and quarantined, they can spread the virus potentially to 800 people. Remember the point. This is the word by the Director General. 2 people infected, if it is not diagnosed and quarantined, they can spread virus to 800 people. If in case the adequate testing, the 2 peoples are identified, they are because they are identified as infected. We make the quarantined. So the spread of infections is contained, and the infect maximum of 5 people as compared to the earlier of 800 also. This is the point was we are informed. That is why we mentioned to use face mask, break the chain and social distancing, or reflect. And so today the newspaper is we have to be more vigil. കൂടുതൽ ജാഗ്രത വേണം ഈ കേസിന് എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മുടെ authorities are mentioning also. The vigil is more important also there once the test identified, etc. So now move on to our role, the specimen collections. I am not going to discuss in detail regarding the specimen. Actually, we have one class previously with there, but you should know the specimens are there. We have a nasopharyngeal swab, oropharyngeal lab, in the upper respiratory specimens and lower respiratory specimens, sputum and endotracheal aspirate are there. Bronchoalveolar lavage. Bronchoalveolar lavage is the best specimen, mostly preferred in most of the cases also. BAL is also there. And other specimens like blood, stool, spared serum, autopsy material including lung tissues are using for